It's Sunday, September 8th when I record this, and you are watching MAGI. We're introducing new market data for global markets. This is our experiment using artificial intelligence, multi-agent systems on global equities price action for over 10 years worth of data. And usually we take a look at heavily traded stocks, highly liquid, so you're not going to see stuff that is crazy volatile. But we do have some pretty impressive moves here today. We're not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice. Here we go. Let's take a look at the information. Okay, you are looking at the Japan Nikkei market. You can tell these numbers are what stand in place for tickers. So in our country, we have ticker symbols that are letters usually. In Japan, they give them numbers. This third one is Obayashi Corporation. It's a pretty big corporation. I think this one here is Japan Petroleum. Look at Japan Petroleum taking a nosedive here for a 5.5% move downward, according to MAGI. We don't know if that's actually going to take place, but we will find out very shortly because the market should be opening up, oh gosh, probably even before I get to post this, darn it. Obayashi here just has one, and this is a much larger cap company than Japan Petroleum, so that gives you an idea that the larger cap stocks are a little more stable, a little less volatile. This one down here, kind of interesting. I'm not sure what 6508 is, but I think when I looked at it, it was a fairly low cap stock, which makes sense, more volatile. 6% move on that one. Let's take a look at the next set here, Oslo, Singapore, Sydney. Oslo, we've got a few 2%ers, BNOR, and that is 4.5% move downward. Let's take a look at Singapore. Not a whole lot here showing on Singapore, maybe a little more stable a market. So we only have that one stock at a 1% downward move. Sydney has a handful of stocks. This one is a lower cap stock here. And usually we don't look at these low cap stocks, so I'm not sure how it snuck in here, but look at that. 13.5% move downward for PDN. And I'm not even sure what that stock is or what it does, but MAGI thinks it's going down. TWE looks like it's going down for a 3.5% hit. Will MAGI be accurate? We will see in the day to come, the days to come. Let's take a look at one more of these. This is Frankfurt, Paris, Vienna, and Zurich. Notice we have a number of these that look like they're going down in Europe. We have Airbus here. Looks like it's going to take a hit. It's listed twice. I think it's because it's listed on both of these exchanges. We just pulled that in. We will edit our results a little more cleanly next time. But let's take a look at Hermes. Hermes International, 3% downward move predicted by MAGI. CAI, I'm not really sure what that company is or does. Oops, here we go, CAI here. And that is a 4% move down. And the one above it was TEP. Again, I'm not that familiar with these foreign stocks. So let's take a look at what's going on in Zurich here. We have a handful of downward moves, and we're looking at the largest one being PGHN. So that gives you a sense of what we're looking at in these global markets. Let's take a quick look at the performance for US. We've got the performance page back on track, which just looks great. And it's showing us about a 83%, and it's showing us about an 83% performance on the calls and an 83% performance on the puts. So we lost a little performance about 5 weeks ago on puts when things were just taken off and they were exceeding expectations. And MAGI obviously was throwing put signals that did come through later, but too much time had passed. More than 20 days had passed. Therefore, those price predictions we determine are null. So even though we were accurate beyond the time frame, because we're trying to get this within the time frame, we've counted it as a loss of predictive power, and we have not put that into our performance data. So that's why you see that 83% down from a whopping 92% accuracy at one point for puts. We'll see if we can crank this up here in the days to come. on the accuracy scale. Let's take a look at the puts by triggered. Before I go there, you can see all these that were met over the last few weeks. And as I scroll up, these were generated on the 9th. ADM looks to have a 3% move down. Looks like CRM is going for a 3.5% move down, according to MAGI. DPZ, we've got a 3% move down. CRM is active, so that was reiterated. We call that a reiterated signal when that happens, because the ticker itself showed up twice in a row and reiterated or reinforced the dominant move. In an earlier video, and I urge you to see this, we don't have it represented here in the table yet, but I do show you contrarian moves. We call these contrarian moves when we see a big move in one direction, but we also predict a counter move within that same time frame. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. Until we see you again, thank you very much, and comment, share. Thank you so very much.